both of us as well. You know, we disagreed about some films, but it's surprising that we're basically on the same wavelength for the Brutalist.
But are we on the same wavelength for April?
So I think you fell asleep quite a bit during that one. I just had downed an energy. No, you will. You will. No, don't play with us. Don't play with us. He was out from March till April.
10 minutes. No, I wasn't out for much of the movie, but I was out at some point.
But yeah, not that much. But I
I wasn't out for April. I think you're confusing with another movie. I wasn't out for April.
Was there another like slow moving film? I thought we were sitting in the front third of it, and there were the Italian guys in front of us, the two bald guys that were in front of us.
That was that screening. Oh no.
That was that screening.
Oh man.
So this was like one of the things that really became apparent after April, and I think it's when I tweeted about like the reminder. Don't go on your phone. Don't talk. Leave if you don't enjoy the movie. Sincerely, eat shit and
don't
die.
talk too
That's
loud.
what I tweeted.
Yeah.
Well, don't talk at all, I think is my thing. And I think the words uttered between the two of us, I think there were maybe 4 sentences that we spoke the entire festival in a screening. And it was usually like, do you want to go in 2? And then like in the other one, maybe one comment. Like I think you said like once, is that ADR off or something like that?
They're doing the American Backyard, yeah.
So we respect. I don't think I had during the 60 plus screenings that we saw. I did not take out my phone a single time because it's just a thing you don't do.
The only time I did that when I had to go to another screening, I was like, I do kind of have to look at it. Am I gonna be on time?
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I did.
Yeah, you're checking it to then leave. So it's like one action follows the others. That's fine. There's nuance to this as well. Much like Russians at war, there's nuance to this discussion. But no, we saw April, a very, very slow moving film that is quite, I'd say, harrowing to watch because it depicts this small town. She's not a nurse. She's a what did he call them? That
oh shit, yeah. Like
I know it in German, but I don't know it right now.
We'll say it in German. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Hebamme is what it's called. It's called a midwife, is what she is.
I couldn't find the poster on it on Letterboxd because it's so different out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like a crumbled up
piece of paper with some blood behind it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's essentially about her who's like
she's an OB-GYN. OB-GYN. Yeah.
What is she in Star Wars?
Nina works in a small hospital of a provincial town as an OB-GYN.
I guess she's OB gynecologist.
Yeah.
I assume that's short for that.
Good. You figured it out. Good for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she's single and in abstinence from personal relationships. She is unconditionally devoted to her Hippocratic oath. When a newborn dies within seconds after being delivered under her supervision, she's accused of wrongdoings. And that part of it is that's how the movie I think
opens.
No, it doesn't open. No, it doesn't open with that. I think it's like a multiple minutes of like rain and something like that.
Oh yeah. It's a storm. Then the stillbirth happens. It's a little inside the incident, guys. So then the stillbirth happens very explicitly. Very explicitly.
I thought it was real. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was, and it like it's a top down shot.
Yeah.
You know, legs open, the baby's coming out. I was like, I saw like I was looking around. I saw like half of the row of the guys like.
Oh yeah, no. I saw one guy look like this, like
watch it. That's part of the experience. If you don't want to see this, walk out. Like. You can't leave a rating if you don't watch the child come out of her. It's like, that's part of it. It's like, don't be a pussy when you see a pussy. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I found it in those moments where it was about like giving birth and those tense moments, they worked really well in like the locked off camera, just like staying on it. And I think it also worked within some of the more tenseful moments between two people when nothing is said, and they remain in like the same room for like 8 minutes straight and not a lot happens. I think it, like, especially during a film festival, it's like you predict a movie like this to come out to screen at some point, and you're like dreading it.
You predicted it, yeah.
I really. You know, it's all across the board. Obviously, got an award, and there's some people, even on my Letterboxd, that like connected with, that gave it a good rating. And yeah, but most of the people didn't really enjoy it, and I can't really fault them for it, because I don't think it really comes together in a way that feels like it's making its point in why it needs to be this slow in every moment, instead of just using it when it's most effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you feel about it?
I said to some people, to April, right? This April is the most film festival movie that has ever been film festivaled at a film festival. It might sound weird, but one of the reviews on Letterboxd also like, oh, I fell asleep and I woke up to the same shot, and it's like, that is the type of movie you see. And the shock value is 100% there. The way the story is told is very admirable. It's just that again, it's a bit like Vermilio, right? The speed of that movie, and just seeing shots of the rainforest, even her going out in a car, picking up strangers and offering to do sexual things with them, is like, that doesn't really feel like it fits into the movie. And even the dispute of the stillbird doesn't really have a through line to the entire film. It's pretty much one thing in the beginning and just one thing at the end. But there are definitely some things like in the movie that you are like, damn, that's very courageous to show and portray in the way that it shows it. But in the end, I'm just like, I'm impressed, but I'm also not impressed. It does leave the viewer very conflicted, and if that's its goal, job well done. But it just doesn't sit long with me.
Yeah, one of the points that I brought up as well is like the film festival type of aesthetic, the typical type of film is like often long shots where we remain with a character and it seemingly is giving it more depth or more artistry, when I feel like it would be so much harder to craft that moment in a more interesting pacing. And even though it is sometimes then really praised when we dare to stay on a shot for very long, I feel like sometimes it's like the way easier solution to do.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think it's very beneficial to praise it if there's no actual reason. It's the same reason where, like, if there's no reason for a one shot, then you don't make a one shot, then you cut once there's no more reason for it. Otherwise, it becomes a gimmick and it undercuts the overall tone that you're going for in your film. And I think tone is very important, where sometimes that term gets often misused.
Would you use the term dead air for this movie as well? Because I think sometimes the way characters speak, like, someone would say something and everyone would just sit there in silence for like half a minute. That I was sometimes like, this could have been a bit weak.
But I think I think for this movie it totally makes sense. That's why, like, I'm conflicted about it, because I like where no, I don't like, but I understand why they create that dead air, because it's supposed to be this uncomfortableness that you have to sit in. But when every single scene is that, it is so dreadful. Like, it's so depressing. And I know Georgia, might not be the funnest place to be around, but man, like, my God. April.
I gave it a 6 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah, you liked it more than I did.
Yeah, again, like, I understand what it does. It does it very well. It was just not for me. And I just hope with that statement I don't get any of them, because I've seen them on Letterboxd too, like, oh, this movie is not for men. It's like, kind of like, oh, man. Is that a stance we're gonna take? Yeah. But
cool. It's
again, I like what it's doing. I just don't love it in the way it's done.
Well, I don't know if a movie just showing all of the shortcomings of patriarchy, where, like, her encounter in the car when she's trying to hook up with someone that ends badly, her being accused of wrongdoings, like, all comes, maybe you could bring it back to her being a woman and maybe having that sort of empathy while she's helping women who like the critique that gets brought up, which is a slight spoiler, that she's helping doing abortions, which is illegal, or she's not allowed to, or she could lose her license at least.
Yeah.
All of those things, like, they are obviously like pro-choice, right? All of those things when in a really conservative country. I don't think inherently that like it becomes a gender issue, although at the core of it is. But like for a art form in a movie, I feel like reducing it to like you're this or this gender, that's why you think this and this about it is so reductive and dumb.
Yeah.
So I hope it doesn't happen with us, because like there's nuance that we can talk about, like what worked and what didn't work.